Imagine a city where every sunrise feels like the start of a legend. Welcome to Rome, where history, beauty, and adventure collide. This isn't just another travel video. We're taking you beyond the postcards, into the heart of Rome's ancient wonders and vibrant street life. You'll discover must-see sights, the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and sunlit piazzas, plus hidden gems only locals know. Taste Rome's soul, fresh espresso, handmade pasta, bustling markets, and the magic of a fountain at dusk. Ready to unlock the secrets of the eternal city? Stay with us. Your Roman adventure starts now. The first time you see the Colosseum, you just have to stop. It doesn't matter if you arrive by metro, emerging from the ground to see it looming over you, or if you catch a glimpse of its curved form down a long Roman street. The world around you just seems to fall away. It doesn't matter how many pictures you've seen, nothing prepares you for the sheer, breathtaking scale of it. The warm, honey-colored travertine stone glowing in the Roman sun seems to hold the light of centuries. You can see the scars of time, the holes where iron clamps were pilfered in the Middle Ages, and the dark, gaping arches that look like portals into another time. It's like a mountain of history that erupted in the middle of a modern city. The roar of Vespas and tour buses competes with the ghosts of the past. You stand there, dwarfed by its 80 external arches, a masterpiece of engineering that allowed this colossal structure to be built in just 10 years. And as you gaze up, you can almost hear it. The deafening roar of nearly 80,000 spectators, a sound that would have shaken the very foundations. The clash of swords on shields, the guttural cries of men and beasts, the formal announcements of the emperor, his voice amplified across the arena, sealing the fate of those below. This wasn't just a stadium, it was the heart of Roman entertainment, but also a powerful instrument of control. A place of breathtaking spectacle, unimaginable violence, and shrewd political theater. Completed in 80 AD under Emperor Titus, the Flavian Amphitheater, as it was originally known, was a brilliant political move. It was built on the drained lake of Emperor Nero's despised Golden House, symbolically returning the land to the people of Rome. It was a gift, but one that came with a clear message, a demonstration of the power, wealth, and engineering genius of the new Flavian dynasty. That message of absolute power still comes through, loud and clear, almost 2 millennia later. Imagine being a Roman citizen walking in. You'd enter through one of the numbered arches, your ticket, a pottery shard called a tessera, directing you to your section. Your seat depended entirely on your social status. The emperor and senators enjoyed prime spots right near the action, while the poorest citizens and women were relegated to the highest, steepest wooden seats at the very top. You'd get ready for a full day of state-sponsored shows. Exotic animal hunts, the Venetianese, kicked off the morning. Midday was reserved for the grim spectacle of public executions. Then, the main event in the afternoon, the gladiatorial combats. All of this unfolded under a massive retractable awning, the Valerian, manipulated by 1,000 sailors to shield the crowd from the sun. It was the ultimate reality TV, a carefully orchestrated policy of bread and circuses designed to keep the population fed, entertained, and docile. Walking the cool, dark corridors and steep stone steps today, you can feel the weight of those lives and stories. The energy is palpable, a silent echo of the millions who walk these same paths. Stand on the upper tiers and look down, not just at the arena floor, but into the labyrinth beneath it. This is the Hypogeum, the backstage of the ancient world, a complex 2-story network of tunnels holding pens and elevators. This is where lions, bears, and crocodiles were caged in darkness, where gladiators waited, hearing the roar of the crowd above, preparing to fight for their lives. Scenery for elaborate hunts was stored and assembled here, then hoisted up through trapdoors, transforming the sandy arena into a forest or a desert in minutes. It's history you can touch, a visceral connection to a world that is both unimaginably distant and hauntingly familiar. Just a short walk from the Colosseum, along the ancient Via Sacra, lies the Roman Forum. If the Colosseum was the brutal heart of Roman entertainment, the Forum was its intellectual and political brain. This sprawling valley of ruins was once the vibrant center of the Roman world, a completely different but equally mind-blowing experience. This was the downtown core, the nucleus of public life for over 1,000 years. Here, triumphant generals paraded their spoils of war. Senators debated laws that would shape Western civilization inside the Curia. Orators delivered fiery speeches from the rostra. Vestal virgins tended the sacred, eternal flame of Rome in their temple. It was a chaotic, crowded, and vital space, filled with temples, basilicas, shops, and government buildings. As you wander through, you're literally walking in the footsteps of emperors, poets, and ordinary citizens. You can stand before the Arch of Titus, built to celebrate the conquest of Jerusalem, and see the menorah from the Second Temple depicted in its carvings. You can find the spot where Julius Caesar was cremated, still adorned with fresh flowers left by modern admirers. Unlike the singular, overwhelming presence of the Colosseum, the Forum is a place to get lost in. It's a puzzle of fallen columns, worn flagstones, and crumbling walls. But with a little imagination, the ghosts of ancient Rome come alive. You can picture the bustling markets, hear the arguments of lawyers in the basilicas, and feel the immense weight of history that was made right here, on this very ground. This wasn't just a city center, it was the cradle of an empire. Of all the wonders in Rome, there's one building that will absolutely break your brain in the best possible way: the Pantheon. It doesn't stand aloof on a hill or dominate the skyline. Instead, it's almost hidden, tucked away in a bustling piazza. You turn a corner, navigating a maze of charming cobblestone streets, and suddenly, there it is. The sheer scale of it, appearing so unexpectedly, is the first of many moments of pure awe it delivers. From the outside, it's an absolute statement of Roman power. You're confronted by this massive portico, held up by 16 monolithic granite columns, each one carved from a single piece of stone. And you have to ask yourself, how on earth did they get those here? These weren't quarried in Italy, they came from the eastern mountains of Egypt. Imagine the logistics in the 2nd century AD, dragging these 60-ton giants to the Nile, floating them to Alexandria, loading them onto specially built ships to cross the Mediterranean, then barging them up the Tiber River. It was a monumental feat of engineering just to build the front porch. And look closely at the inscription. It credits the original building to Marcus Agrippa, but the structure we see today was entirely rebuilt by the Emperor Hadrian, who, in a remarkable act of humility, kept the original dedication. But as impressive as the outside is, it's only a prelude. You pass through the gigantic 2,000-year-old bronze doors, stepping from the bright, noisy piazza into a cool, hushed, and cavernous space. And then you step inside, and everything changes. You look up, and you see it, the oculus, a perfect 9-meter-wide circle open to the sky, the building's only source of light, right in the center of the largest unreinforced concrete dome ever built. The entire interior is a perfect sphere resting in a cylinder. Its diameter is exactly equal to its height. This is geometric perfection on a divine scale. When the sun is out, a single powerful beam of light moves across the interior like a celestial spotlight, illuminating the coffered ceiling and marble walls. On April 21st, Rome's birthday, the light shines directly on the entrance, greeting the emperor as he walked in. And when it rains, you see a shimmering column of water and mist fall to the floor, where it drains away so perfectly through nearly invisible holes in the subtly slanted marble floor that puddles never form. It's a testament to the genius of Roman engineering, its pure architectural magic. Built as a temple to all the gods, Pantheon, around 27 BC by Marcus Agrippa, it was destroyed by fire and then completely rebuilt by Emperor Hadrian around 126 AD. Its survival for nearly 2,000 years, almost perfectly intact, is largely because in 609 AD it was converted into a Christian church. The pagan gods were out, and Saint Mary and the martyrs were in. This act saved it from being scavenged for its materials like so many other ancient buildings. It's also the final resting place of Italian kings and, most famously, the great Renaissance artist Raphael, who chose this spot himself, knowing it was the most sublime space on earth. And the central mystery remains, the dome. How they mixed and poured the concrete to create such a massive, perfect dome without it collapsing under its own weight is a secret that still baffles experts. We know they used heavier aggregates like travertine at the base, gradually switching to lighter materials like volcanic pumice near the oculus. The walls are over 20 feet thick at the bottom and taper to just a few feet at the top. It's a masterpiece of chemistry, physics, and sheer audacity. From the perfectly preserved Pantheon, let's journey to a different kind of wonder, one of evocative ruins and foundational myths. Let's climb a hill. Right next to the Forum is Palatine Hill, the most exclusive neighborhood in ancient Rome, and arguably the very birthplace of the city itself. According to legend, this is where a she-wolf discovered the twin boys Romulus and Remus, saving them in her cave, the Lupercal. It was from this very hill that Romulus, in a contest against his brother, saw 12 auspicious vultures and went on to plow the sacred boundary for his new city in 753 BC. This isn't just another hill with ruins, it's the mythical heart of Rome. As the Republic grew, it became the Beverly Hills of its day, the preferred address for the city's elite. The wealthiest and most powerful citizens, including emperors like Augustus, Tiberius, and Domitian, built their sprawling palaces here. Augustus was born here and deliberately kept his residence relatively modest. But later emperors had no such restraint. They built a palace so vast it covered most of the hill, a labyrinth of courtyards, banquet halls, and private stadiums. In fact, the hill's name, Palladium, gave the entire world the word palace. As you wander through the ruins today, through the tranquil Farnese gardens with their fountains and shaded pathways, you're walking through the very blueprint of imperial power. From the top, the strategic advantage is obvious. You had a commanding view of the Roman Forum, the center of civic and political life, on one side. On the other, you look down upon the Circus Maximus, the colossal arena for chariot races and mass entertainment. The emperors could literally look down on their city and their subjects from their living room. It's a place to reflect on the dizzying heights of power and its inevitable decay. A quiet, beautiful space where the ghosts of emperors and the echoes of myth whisper on the breeze. Now, we're going to cross an invisible border into another country, Vatican City. It's the smallest independent state in the world, but its power is jaw-dropping. At its heart is St. Peter's Basilica, a building so immense it feels built by giants. In St. Peter's Square, Bernini's colonnades embrace you. The scale is meant to inspire awe, and it works. Inside, marble, gold, and genius. Michelangelo's Pietà, Bernini's towering baldacchino over St. Peter's tomb. Faith, history, and unbelievable artistry. Through the Vatican museums, you reach the Sistine Chapel, a universe of color, drama, and emotion. Guards whisper, "Shh, no photo." You think of Michelangelo on scaffolding for 4 years, the creation of Adam's iconic touch. Then the Last Judgment, darker, more turbulent, a powerful vision of salvation and damnation. Rome's piazzas are the city's outdoor living rooms. Piazza Navona, an elegant oval atop Domitian's Stadium, crowned by Bernini's Fountain of the Four Rivers. Then the Trevi Fountain, you hear it before you see it. Turn the corner. Boom. Toss a coin over your left shoulder with your right hand, a place of wishes and dreams. Popes and patrons hired Michelangelo, Raphael, Bernini, Borromini to sculpt the city. Churches, palaces, public spaces, the Spanish Steps, Campo de' Fiori, Market by day, lively at night, designed to impress, project power, and bring people together. To truly understand Rome, you have to look beyond the monuments and tune into the rhythm of its daily life. The real magic happens in the Rioni, neighborhoods like Trastevere, ivy-draped lanes, faded ochre buildings, artisans in studios, locals on doorsteps, a village within the city. At sunset, trattorias lay checkered tablecloths, fairy lights glow, and the passeggiata begins. A leisurely stroll to see and be seen, to catch up, to enjoy the evening air. Visit markets for the local vibe. Campo de' Fiori bursts with color and calls. Testaccio is where real Romans shop. Grandmothers inspecting artichokes, friends grabbing a perfect sandwich. Life is small pleasures. A cappuccino and cornetto at the bar, a quick plate of pasta or pizza al taglio, then aperitivo, a spritz or wine with snacks. In these simple moments, you find the soul of Rome. All right, let's get to the important stuff. The food. In Rome, food isn't just fuel, it's culture, it's history, it's love, it's everything. Simple, high-quality ingredients, cucina povera, humble produce made miraculous. Start with the 4 great Roman pastas: cacio e pepe, pecorino, black pepper, starchy water, creamy without cream. Gricia, cacio e pepe plus crispy guanciale. Amatriciana, gricia with tomatoes. Carbonara, eggs, pecorino, guanciale, black pepper, no cream, never cream. Find a family-run trattoria in a quiet neighborhood. Having a plate there is a religious experience. Roman food is more than pasta. Supplì, fried rice balls with molten mozzarella. Pizza al taglio, sold by weight with toppings from potato rosemary to classic margherita. Carciofi alla romana, braised with garlic and mint. Carciofi alla Giudia, deep fried until the leaves are chip crisp. Walk away from the main squares. Look for short, handwritten menus. If it's filled with locals, that's your sign. Trattoria and ostery are your friends. Always save room for gelato. Natural colors, covered metal tins. Pistachio, hazelnut, stroll a piazza at sunset, pure happiness. A little planning goes a long way. Spring, April, June, is glorious. Fall, September, October, equally beautiful. July and August are hot and crowded. Start early and break midday. Winter is quieter and magical. The historic center is best on foot. Get a little lost. That's where the best discoveries happen. Metro for major sites. Buses go everywhere, adventure included. Use taxis with meters. Consider bikes or e-scooters for sustainable hops. Book big attractions in advance. Skip lines at the Colosseum and Vatican museums. More time for gelato. Be respectful in churches. Cover shoulders and knees. A few phrases go far. Per favore. Grazie. Buongiorno. Eat at family-run trattorias. Shop at artisan boutiques and buy from markets. Carry a reusable bottle and use the Nasoni. Be mindful in crowds and come with an open heart and an adventurous spirit. Be ready to slow down, observe, and let the city's rhythm guide you. When your trip is over and you're back home, you might think you've left Rome behind. But the eternal city doesn't leave you. It stays with you like a beautiful, persistent echo. It's a resonance that hums just beneath the surface, a warmth that lingers. You'll find yourself closing your eyes and hearing the splash of a fountain or the murmur of Italian chatter, a sensory ghost that follows you home. Suddenly, you'll see a color on a wall and be transported back to that specific, inimitable shade of Roman ochre. You'll think about the taste of a perfect plate of cacio e pepe, but also the surprising crispness of an artichoke fried alla Giudia. The aroma of espresso from a corner bar will become a phantom scent. These aren't just flavors or colors, they are sensory bookmarks, each one ready to pull you back across the world in an instant. You'll remember standing in the Pantheon, looking up through that single perfect circle open to the sky. It's more than an architectural marvel. It's a conduit through time. You'll recall feeling connected to 2,000 years of humanity, standing on the same marble floor as emperors and pilgrims. You watch that beam of light trace its path across the dome, a celestial clock marking the passage of centuries. In that moment, you were part of the continuum, sharing in a timeless awe. A distant church bell will carry you back to a quiet morning in Trastevere, to its ivy-clad alleys and the sound of shutters opening to greet the day. This is how Rome imprints on your senses and becomes part of your story. It's not just a collection of sights, it's a series of moments you've lived. It becomes a new chapter that subtly reshapes the ones that come after, a new lens through which you see your own world. You'll remember the beautiful paradox of it all, walking past ruins that have stood for millennia, right beside buzzing cafes where life unfolds in the present. A Vespa zips past the Forum, its modern hum a counterpoint to ancient silence. Rome teaches you that history isn't over. It's alive and present all around you. In that realization, you feel humbled, understanding we're a small part of a much longer, ongoing tale. Rome shows the resilience of the human spirit, to create beauty, build empires, endure their fall, and rebuild with passion. Nowhere is this clearer than the Colosseum. It has survived earthquakes, plunder, and time to stand today, broken but magnificent. Your own worries feel smaller in its shadow, put into their proper, fleeting perspective against the backdrop of eternity. It's a powerful lesson in endurance. The city's magic is in its grand, operatic gestures, like the sweeping embrace of Bernini's colonnade at St. Peter's Square. But it's equally present in the small, intimate moments. A shared laugh with a shopkeeper, the discovery of a hidden courtyard, the simple pleasure of bread dipped in golden olive oil. These tiny perfect moments are what anchor the grandeur in real, tangible humanity, making the city feel like home. To truly know Rome, you must be a participant, not just an observer. Wander without a map. Taste everything. Listen to the music of the language. By engaging with the city on its own terms, you add your own unique voice and experience to Rome's eternal chorus, a symphony of voices stretching back through the ages, now including yours. So, go to Rome. Walk until your feet are sore to find the hidden gems. Eat until you're full and happy. Sit with a coffee and watch the world go by. And yes, toss that coin in the Trevi fountain, make the wish, seal the promise to yourself. You'll want to come back. Like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, which Roman landmark, which taste, which experience will you seek out first?